Sports Show with Woody and Les and everyone else. Let's go to Skype right now and bring in Zach Helfand. He writes for the LA Times. He covers the UCLA football team. He is on campus right now, a day after the altercation between, the alleged altercation, I should say, between P. Diddy or Puff Daddy or Diddy or Sean, whatever you want to call him, and a strength and conditioning coach for the UCLA football team. Zach, welcome to the show, and give us the latest. I understand Diddy's out of jail now?
Diddy's out of jail. He posted bail. The latest is that he released a statement through his company that saying basically that he acted in self-defense. Probably not a surprise there. So there's going to be a he said situation where Diddy's saying that he acted out of concern for his own safety and his son's safety, and UCLA and Salalosi, who was the target of the alleged attack, is saying that Diddy went after him.
Zach, I said earlier that information I'd read that the strength and conditioning coach also has somewhat of a history that he's been a rather vocal and abusive, vocally abusive coach in the past, and he did, when he was playing the NFL, trip somebody as they were running down the sidelines. I think he may have been a special teams coach. I don't know that he was a player then, but so I think you're right that it seems as if this is one of those situations where both sides overreacted. Is that fair?
It's hard to tell without knowing the facts and seeing the video, but what we know about Salalosi is that he could be pretty intimidating. He's never given an interview since he's gotten to UCLA in 2012, so it's been a few years since he's actually talked to the media. But from what players have said, he's a no-nonsense guy, very, very intense. One player called him a 12 on a scale of 1 to 10 in intensity. So he could be intimidating, definitely, and if he's yelling at your son, I could see how you'd be concerned, not enough to attack anyone with a kettlebell, but he is an intimidating guy. And you're right, when he was a strength and conditioning coach with the Jets, there was that much publicized incident where he stuck out his knee and tripped a Dolphins player running down the sideline. He got fired and spent a year at Bryant College in Rhode Island before he was hired on by Jim Moore at UCLA.
Zach, have you or has anybody else seen this security video, and will it be made public?
Well, UCLA is a public school, so it will be made public at some point through records requests. It hasn't been made public at this point, so the only people that have seen it would be the police. And the reports are that the police looked at the footage before arresting Diddy. So you would think that they would have a better sense of the situation than just going on the words of people who are there.
Zach, it's been kind of left out in all this and all the reports I've seen. This is Woody, by the way, that is his son any good? I mean, is he a good player? I mean, why are they picking on his son? He's a defensive back. I've never heard of him, honestly, until this situation. So,
but the coach probably just doesn't like hip hop music. Is that it? Is it?
Well, he's not. You have kind of these situations in some colleges where a booster could get a kid onto the team just because he's a booster and pays a lot of money. This isn't exactly one of those situations. He was a two-star recruit. He was in Jim Moore's first recruiting class, which just kind of got off to some fits and starts. They're recruiting great now, but that was his first recruiting class. He was a two-star defensive back recruit, and he's appeared in 7 games. He's a reserve. He's not going to start. He's not going to crack the 2-deep depth chart, but he'll get a little bit of playing time on special teams, a little bit in some blowouts he'll get in. He's made a couple tackles, so he's not just someone who's on the team because of his dad, but it doesn't help it doesn't hurt that his dad is P. Diddy, and it probably is a big draw to a lot of other recruits.
All of our guests are brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Zach, have you found out anything that we haven't read? I know you've been digging into this story. Any other side notes to this that we should know about?
The only interesting thing, maybe this just strikes me as funny, but this could be, I wouldn't say a landmark case, but a test case in how exactly deadly a kettlebell is as a deadly weapon. Because in California, assault with a deadly weapon, which is one of the charges that Diddy is facing, it could either be a misdemeanor or a felony. And the way that they determine that, or partially the way that they determine that, is the weapon used. So a gun is worse than, say, if you attack someone with a stick. Where a kettlebell falls in there, I guess, will be determined by the courts at some point.
Yeah, what's up with the terrorist charge? Is everything now an act of terrorism? I don't get that.
I think that they may have misnamed that on the charge sheet. I'm fairly certain that California has changed the name of that crime. I think it's making criminal threats now. Essentially, making a terrorist threat just means that you've made a threat with intent. So saying, I'm going to kill you or something like that, if you have intent and it's specific enough, then that's considered making a terrorist threat. It has nothing to do with ISIS or Al-Qaeda. No one's getting put on any watch lists, I don't think, because of this.
Yeah. See, when I read that, I thought, oh, this is going to be Los Angeles, a movie, aliens attack with kettlebells, took over the city.
We need a white Bronco. We need something.
Well, it's been probably a little bit of a calm period for you covering UCLA football. So I guess, to be serious, that this at least kind of amps up your offseason there a little bit.
Yeah, never a dull moment here. Not in LA sports. We had some fake heroes on the USC team last year. We have Diddy going off with kettlebells this year. So never a dull moment.
There. Let's talk for a moment though. Is UCLA going to be relevant again? I mean, you talked about Jim Mora. UCLA had those down years with Rick Neuheisel and another coach who had come from Colorado, and I've forgotten his name.
Toledo?
No, the African-American coach that was
Carl
there.
Durrell.
Yeah, Durrell was there for a while. Has Mora sort of returned UCLA to the prominence that it always had for decades?
Yeah, I think so. And the product is there on the field. They've beaten USC, which is very important around here. They're one of the better teams in the Pac-12 and have been for a little while. And he's recruiting very well. They brought in one of the best recruiting classes in the nation in this year. They have maybe the best quarterback recruit in the nation, Josh Rosen, who came in. So the products there on the field, it seems like they're getting the players to keep it up. And I saw Dan Wetzel, columnist for Yahoo, tweeted this yesterday that it seems like UCLA is getting the SEC level crazy. So they must be getting better at football when they have stuff like this going on.
Zach, really appreciate your time. I know it was last second. Zach Helfand, he's writing about UCLA football for the LA Times. What's your Twitter handle, Zach?
At Z Helfand.
And we have to say that of all the Skype visitors we've had, you have the best background of anybody that we've had.
It's beautiful campus.
This is pretty nice, right?
Yeah. We need to teach other people to put up a big poster like you have behind you that's
exactly.
a fake background.
or move to L.A. and do all their Skype shots from Westwood.
Yeah, or just move to L.A., yeah.
Zach, how do you refer, just out of curiosity, you're youngish and I'm guessing you listen to hip-hop once in a while. How do you refer to Sean Combs these days?
Well, see, the thing was, I thought it was P. Diddy. Apparently, it looks like it's just Diddy now. I thought it was Diddy, and then went back to P. Diddy. He was Puff Daddy. I think Diddy's the way to go.
Very confusing.
Don't you think? How old are you, Zach?
I'm 23.
Really? Are people paying attention to P. Diddy anymore? I mean, didn't he go out of
they are now,
Snoop
yeah.
Dogg? No, Snoop Dogg and P. Diddy are like out of the '90s, aren't they? When you were a little kid, I mean,
that was
they're out of
Snoop's
vogue.
still making some music. Diddy hasn't had a big hit in a while, in my opinion. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bad Boys for Life, Shake Your Tail Feather, but it's been a while since he's had a song that I've really looked forward to listening to.
Could you say that with a straight face? You actually could say that with a. You could announce. I mean, you sound like my daughter when I go. 10 years from now, there is not going to be an oldie station playing P. Diddy. So,
I hope
here's P. Diddy. You'll remember this out of the 1990s. Shake a tail feather. Let's hear it. The hits keep on rolling.
I'm on record saying I'm a big Shaky Tail Feather fan.
Thanks, Zach. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, fellas.
Zach Helfand of the LA Times. That segment brought to you by Papa John's, the official sponsor of the Colorado Rockies. The day after every Rockies win, get 50% off your regular menu price online order. Got to be online. Go to papajohns.com and use the promo code ROXWIN, ROXWIN.